Hello there. Today is Someday, and on some days comes Pink Milk, your Star Wars podcast for us superfans and those forced to listen to us. I'm Brian. With me, as always, is my husband and your better host, Tom. Today is Episode 2, The Prequels. Hello there.
Hello there.
How are you, Pop-Up?
I am great. How are you?
I am very, very well. Thank you.
Fantastic. Happy Someday Fun Day to you.
Someday Fun Day. I am very excited about today because we had yet another fantastic week of watching a Star Wars trilogy.
Yep. That we did.
That's it?
That's it.
I don't know.
It's a lot to cram in a week.
But that's all right. It was a good week.
Not that we haven't seen them before, but we wanted to make sure we were all brushed up and ready.
Yes.
Mainly me.
Mainly Tom. But Tom,
and I'm going to do my best.
And what you can't see right now is Tom has little golden books placed in front of him. Perhaps I will put it on the Twitters and the Instagrams. Because Tom realized in watching them,
I'm getting confused between them all now.
He couldn't remember the movies, but he could remember reading the little golden books to the boys.
That's right.
And speaking of boys, so I was doing a little re-listen to our first two episodes because, well, luckily we didn't do like drop a massive load.
Keep going.
Well, in this case, that wouldn't be good because I can't seem to get us up on iTunes. So hopefully by the time you're listening to us, we're on iTunes and ready to go. But I did listen to our Hello There episode and then episode 1, and I could understand if there was some confusion because we went from 2 children to 3.
Yes.
And we didn't mention it. So
Just like boom,
boom,
there he was.
Between the recording of Hello There and our first official episode, we had a third child brought to us.
And boom, there he was. Is pretty much how it went, too. Didn't half notice. Not that, our search was long.
Yeah.
Or that it was short, because it was long. But nonetheless,
But
he arrived.
He arrived. Captain. Captain is how he will be referred to.
We're going to call him Captain.
Now.
All right, cool, cool.
6. Just turned 6
No,
earlier this year.
Yep.
And is in first grade. So now we have
soon to be 7. But I keep up on the edges.
So, yeah. Not the anniversary.
Good thing there's not a test.
But now we have a 5-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a soon-to-be 10-year-old. So it's been a busy house. It's been a busy, busy house. But the exciting thing is I don't think the new one's really ever watched Star Wars. So we've been introducing him. And I'm not sure if he's going to be a super fan.
Not sure either. He might be sitting on my side over here, especially because he talks through everything.
Oh my God, last night.
But that's part of the magic of him.
Yes. So someday is today around, we're soon approaching Halloween. And last night we went to a little carnival down in our area here. And when we came home, everyone was obviously on cloud 9 with lots of candy and sweets. And we started to watch episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, which I'm having a hard time after watching all these because I thought Attack of the Clones, and I know Don't Kill Me, was my favorite. But Revenge of the Sith is really good. But anyways, he's talking through the entire thing all the time. And I'm not sure if he's ever been to a movie theater. He definitely hasn't with us. And the first time he goes will probably be December 19th at 6:30 p.m. when we watch The Rise of Skywalker because, yes, we got our tickets. And I'm very concerned.
Are we seeing it in 3D, by the way?
Yes, we're seeing it in the big screen.
Okay, cool.
Thank God. Because the last time when we saw The Last Jedi, and Solo, we were in one of the smaller ones, and I think we're in the less Star Wars fanny rooms that way, and the energy wasn't quite as exciting. But I'm also used to living downtown now. I'm in the burbs, and maybe it's more Tom's out there than Brian's in the burbs.
Mm-hmm.
But Anyways, today we're talking about the prequels.
Yes,
And
we
I'm
are.
very excited. The year
Also
was
known as 1, 2, and 3.
Yes, there was a definite marketing shift during the prequel era of really just honing in on their chapter titles, which I think led to confusion. And it was 1999. I think we briefly discussed this last week, but there was a lot of confusion centered around what in the world a prequel was versus what it was not. And I think Tom is still confused because he's got his little golden books.
That's right.
But what did you think
Of episode 1, The Phantom Menace?
Well, let's just the collective whole.
I have to say I saw them differently, knowing that I would have to be prepared for the podcast. Because previously, in being together for 12 years, we've seen them a lot.
Mm-hmm. Not enough.
Barely paid attention. Not going to lie. Because they were so different than Star Wars was to me. So episode 4, in this case.
Yes.
4, 5, and 6. Those were the ones I grew up with. So that was Star Wars to me. These all had a completely different look and feel. However, now seeing 7, 8, the standalone movies, and looking forward to episode number 9, the end of the
Skywalker saga.
Yes, that there. I appreciate more of the background of all this now. Kind of makes a little bit more sense.
It's
I would hate for the listeners to have to watch it as many times as I did, though, to really understand the whole thing.
Hey, no, you're welcome. It's almost as if Mr. Lucas is a bit of a genius. That it all starts to make sense.
Almost as if.
Oh, wow. Anyway. So, episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
Here
I
we
believe
go.
it came out May 19th, 1999. The anticipation. Do you remember the hype leading into it before the movie came out?
Truthfully, no.
Oh, my God. Oh, you don't?
I really do not.
Okay. Because, there's a lot of talk about the Force Awakens, and there was a tremendous amount of hype before that came out, like it had never been seen. And to me, episode 1 was that hype filled. I don't think we're ever going to get that again, unfortunately. But so it came out in 99. The last one came out in 83. So what is that? 10, 16 years in between. That's a lot of time to build up what we thought they were going to be. And there was just an immense amount of pressure from us super fans on what to expect. And we have a knock at the door. One moment, please. And we're back. Sorry for the knock on the door.
That was son number 2.
Son number 2. That was the
3,
super
actually.
fan. He just wanted in on it. Yeah, it is. It is funny because the order age range is not the order in which they came in.
Mm-hmm.
So we went oldest, youngest, middle.
Yes.
So anyways. Anyway, the wonders of being a self-created and adoptive family makes things a little different. So, back to the Phantom Menace. The hype was real, and the expectations of what we wanted to get and what we got, I'm not sure if they exactly lined up at the beginning. So, I remember sitting in the theater. I was in line for about 12 hours.
Are you kidding me?
No, God, no.
You gotta be kidding me.
No. That was, that doesn't happen anymore. It's fun. So, back when I was growing up, I grew up in another city that was like half hour outside of the main city. And downtown, there used to be an old school theater that had the curtains and all that was called Cine Capri. It was just one of those massive, one big screens, and that was it. And every summer, starting from when I was about 13, they would play Star Wars. And then one year they played the Trilogy. But that was when people would dress up and get way into it. And half the fun of Star Wars was standing in line and being with all your fellow super fans. People don't seem to do that anymore. But anyways, so it was episode 1. I was in line for like 12 hours. It was crazy. And I'm not going to lie. I remember sitting there, and when this movie started, it feels very different than everything else. And that was a little, I remember the pit in my stomach of, I don't have to admit this. To myself, it really hurt, but it was kind of boring. And I got to be honest, this one's got a little bit of a slow start.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think?
Well, I mean, it was nothing like the Star Wars I knew, for sure.
How so?
Did I think it was a slow start? For sure. So how is it unlike the Star Wars? Well, space. I was just used to everything taking place in space, or a swamp, or a spaceship.
Well, it did start in outer space first.
I know.
The opening shot.
I know. But the rest of it didn't. So my collective memory of the whole thing is not being on a. Why are you taking a picture?
For our audiences.
Our two fans. We counted this morning.
Thank you.
Both of you.
X Reads Podcast, which is a fantastic podcast. If you enjoy X-Men comics, It is two guys who look at the fashion and the stories of early X-Men episodes. They're great. And then Chutaka is another Star Wars podcast. I haven't watched it yet, I'm sorry, or listened, but I will.
Well, we're right on top of that.
Yes. X Reads, though. They're fun guys.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, we're used to being dropped in the middle of action.
Mm-hmm.
And this one Return of the Jedi isn't exactly action, but it had worked its way to the third movie. This one, you're brought in and they sit around a table. It's just...
You know what I really thought? More people to remember. That's what I thought. We now have Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yes.
We have Padma. I mean, Padme, whatever.
Amidala.
Yeah, they all have multiple names. So you're trying to remember all these people. We have the guy who I like, Jar Jar Binks. And we have, yes, I like him. Then we have Boss Nass.
He ruined Star Wars, Tom.
We have Vince Roy Gunroy.
Viceroy Gunroy.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And then we've got Darth Maul, who he's up there with one of my favorites as well, because I like those kind of characters. I like Darth Maul, and I liked, as you know, what's his name again?
He really liked him a lot.
We just saw somebody dressed up at the carnival last night as him.
Okay.
No, what's his name? What's his Solo's son?
He's an amazing character. Probably Tom's favorite character.
Let me grab one of my books.
His name is Ben Solo.
Yes, I know that.
Until he was murdered by Kylo Ren.
Oh, yes.
Master of the Knights of Ren.
Yes.
Whatever
Kylo Ren. That's my favorite one. Even though I can't remember his name, that's the one. So right up there with my new friend Darth Maul.
So what about Darth Maul?
I like him. I think the makeup looks great.
Yes.
I don't know. I kind of like him. He's dark.
And I have to say, Ray Park, he's very handsome.
Well, your friend dressed up as Darth Maul.
Yes, and he did do. He
did
looked a lot like
job. Yeah.
So I want to say it was.
We won't say his name out loud.
Probably, I don't know, 2003. We went to a Phoenix Comic Con, and Comic Cons weren't quite what they are yet, so there was not the super celebrity status, and I got very up close and personal with Darth Maul, with Ray Park, and he's very handsome and shorter than I would have expected. But he's very cute, and you should follow him on Instagram because he does lots of karate moves.
Oh, cool.
It's fun. Hopefully he doesn't mind another dude ogling at him. So, do you remember, and in watching this, we didn't know the Clone Wars were going to come, but the Clone Wars have done so much. So what happened at the end of this movie, spoiler alert, but you're listening to a Star Wars podcast, I'm sure you've all listened to it. Darth Maul dies, but he doesn't. And then he comes back in the Clone Wars. And the Solo film, which I realized we talked a lot about in the last episode because I think we both really enjoyed it, was such a, lack of a better word, a ballsy move on Disney's part to bring Darth Maul back because he came back in the cartoons. But in the movies, last in the movie we saw, he was dead, and there he was. It was awesome. So, he hadn't made a movie in a long time. But I think this movie starts off kind of rough. I'm not going to lie. It's a little slow. The dialogue in all the prequels is not the greatest. But this one's just it's a little bit of a slow burner.
Well, the truth of the matter is they introduced this kid named Anakin, and who would have known Darth Vader was
Well, we did.
Anakin? I wouldn't have known that. Your average person?
Well, I don't know. Obi-Wan Kenobi talks about his father, Anakin Skywalker, was murdered and betrayed by Darth Vader.
A couple times. Not a lot.
And Luke's, as they're standing in there on the bridge in Endor, I believe that you were once Anakin Skywalker, my father. That name no longer has any meaning to me.
Well,
welcome to my impressions. They're great, aren't they?
They're very good.
But anyways, I mean, it made Darth Vader somewhat sympathetic, and it kind of rounded out the last time, there was good when Luke's like, there's good in him. We can kind of see it. Mm-hmm. But I will say once this movie kicks into, it's a little while. I think once they land on Naboo and we meet Jar Jar, I think the movie's fantastic ever since then. So I don't know what minute that clock's in. It's probably like 15, 20 minutes, but those first 15, 20 minutes, they're kind of tough.
Snoozers.
Yeah. And, but I will say, speaking of the X-Reads podcast, and they're commenting on fashion, I would love to hear them talk about the looks that are served in this movie. Because let me tell you, Queen Amidala Padme, there's some looks. I was watching it last night, and this is not the one that I go to, first of all, when I rewatch Star Wars. Mm-hmm. There's some iconic looks. Queen Amidala looks just rad. All those costumes, the costumes in this movie are awesome. Awesome. So we spend a lot of time in Naboo. Mm-hmm. And I'm curious to think, because the prequels are he's looking at his little golden books trying to remember what Naboo is.
I know where Naboo is. Everybody knows that's the planet of Naboo under a blockade from the Greedy Trade Federation. And the Galactic Republic quickly sends Qui-Gon Jinn. Okay, wait, that's another line. All right, good. Hey, folks, if you haven't picked up these little golden books for your kids, they're really good. They're quick reads.
Or for adults.
Doing Star Wars podcasts. But please, have faith in me. Remember, I'm the one who's forced to listen.
Yes. So what did you think of Naboo? Because you said a couple of things, and the prequels are often thought of as just the technology behind them and not the story, which back then was the focus of a lot of the marketing. But what did you think? Because you said a few things that I found interesting.
It was a very pretty place, right? I mean, this is where she was the queen.
Yeah.
Of Naboo. Yeah.
It looks.
All right, so I just wanted to make sure it wasn't confusing, because we've got Tatooine, we've got Underland City, and all these new places. Well, that's still Naboo.
The Gungan City is underwater because Naboo has not a lava core like many planets. It has a water core.
Oh.
That's when he says he's got to take the what is the transport? It's a ridiculous line. Anyways, through the planet core.
Well, why was Boss Nass refusing to help Naboo?
So, okay,
or Queen.
It has been a hot minute since I've really
read the little books,
taken deep dives into all of that extra stuff, which, as this podcast goes, I will quickly find myself back up to speed, but I am not 20 anymore. I'm now 40. And
you're what?
I know. But I still look like I'm 20.
It's true. It's true.
So anyways, they didn't like each other. There's a lot of racism going on because the humans thought they were better than the Gungans. Oh, and so land was taken away. If I am wrong, please tweet at me at Pink Milk Haus. Pink Milk Haus. Remember, we're fancy gays, so it's Pink Milk Haus Haus on Twitter and Instagram.
We're not that fancy.
And I also forgot to mention you can email us at pinkmilkhouse@gmail.com with any questions, comments. Tell us how cute we are. Any of those things. So, but that's why he didn't want to help him. Because previous administrations, even though Tom was also very confused about why she was elected and why she wasn't a queen anymore, if she was a queen. And, there's a lot going on in these movies. There's like massive worlds being built, and Star Wars does not take a lot of time explaining things. It's like 1 or 2 lines, listen, and move on.
Kind of like the relationship between Padma and Anakin. I don't feel there was a lot of build up for that. And in movie 2, boom, they were married. And in movie 3, boom, they had 2 kids.
Yeah.
And in movie 4,
so
boom, they had brother and sister. Or is that 5? I don't know.
That is funny. Excuse me, sorry. In episode 2, don't look at me like that. Why? It makes me uncomfortable. And then all of a sudden, they roll around, and then all of a sudden, I truly, deeply love you.
And then they're in bed together, he's having bad dreams or whatever.
But Jedi don't have dreams.
Yeah. Yep.
Anyways, hey, Padme is pretty hot. I can't imagine anyone.
Yeah, she's beautiful.
Yeah, really is and she's a fantastic character. That lady, I think she's 14 in this movie, very young, probably too young to be a queen, probably more of the Emperor's work of 14-year-old girl's easy to manipulate. Then quickly he realizes that she's not. But that girl stands up to the Trade Federation. She claps back at the Jedi. I'm really impressed with how confident she is. And she's not afraid to get her hands dirty with a blaster. It's pretty great.
And my question is, why did her parents let her do this job?
There was a scene in episode 2 that was deleted. We can watch the deleted scenes where they're with the family. And if I remember correctly, they do talk a little bit about it.
They do?
I think so.
Okay. All right.
I know, I'm sorry. I'm the super fan and I don't have some of these answers. It's really terrible.
I didn't even think about it until we saw the parents at some party. Was that end of episode?
Well, if you call a funeral a party, you did used to be... people, our dear listeners, our pink milk drinkers, our pinkies, whatever we're...
the pinksters?
The pinksters. All 2 of you.
Pinkers like drinkers? Pinkers?
Thomas.
I like that one.
Who wants a pinky?
A pinker.
Oh,
like a drinker. Drink pink milk.
Okay.
Drinker. Pinkers.
All right.
I think it's good. Okay. Let's see if it sticks.
He did used to be a pallbearer. So he has a lot of experience with this.
I worked in a funeral home.
But did you... Isn't the pallbearers the people that used to carry the caskets in, right? You've done that,
once or twice I had to do that when there was not family available.
Okay, so once or twice, couldn't you say, I was once a pallbearer?
Yes.
Some of these people, sometimes
you're getting a little like Star Wars. You're not giving the background, though.
So anyways, was it a party?
After.
Okay.
No. The answer is no.
Okay, so would you say that it was a party when we saw the parents?
I don't remember when I saw the parents. Again, you did just cram 3 movies down my throat in 5 days. And remember, we work full time. And we have to watch them at night when the kids go to sleep.
You're welcome. So yeah,
right.
I've talked about their relationship once, and it was brought to my attention that it's really creepy because part of me, I've wondered if Anakin unwillingly used the Force to somehow maybe get them together a little more.
Yeah, it's a little creepy. I mean, he is a little boy, and she's a teenager.
Doesn't stop some teachers.
Oh.
We're losing audiences left and right. Get
this
used to our
lifetime.
humor. Just remember, I lived my life based on the 3 S's, including South Park. So I have there's no border. Let's just have fun. Jeez.
I can't even respond today based on what I said last week because my 2 viewers might get mad.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
Not that they did.
Ooh. Well, because I couldn't unload
societal
anywhere, and
pressure.
there's no iTunes, so no one can find us because I don't know how to do it. But I listened to it, and they, sound great. So
maybe you were one of the 2 listeners.
Fake profiles make us very popular.
We'll call Chris M. to figure out all that stuff.
I'm like the Emperor. I'm playing all sides. I'm creating it. I'm creating the listening audience, and I'm just going to manipulate this all the way to the top, straight to StarWars.com. So, what did you think of? You'd mentioned how all the new characters we had to meet. What about Qui-Gon?
Qui-Gon. Well, quite frankly, I didn't know who he was at first.
No one did.
Yeah. And, well, he was gone by the end of the movie anyway, so I guess they didn't really need to develop him much, but he seems extremely pivotal.
Well, he was there. He was going to come in later in episode 3 because we hear him. Qui-Gon Jinn is the first Jedi to learn how to come back as a bluey ghost.
Oh. Do we see him?
No, we were going to, but there's something about filming or something. But we do see him and have interesting conversations with him in the Clone Wars. Which, if you haven't watched the Clone Wars cartoon series, you really should, because honestly, they are like inseparable from this trilogy as far as I'm concerned. And they gave us, which quite honestly, and she's probably my favorite Star Wars character of all time, but they brought us Ahsoka Tano, and she's like amazing. Amazing Star Wars character. But Qui-Gon appeared in that.
So the Clone Wars took place between these two books.
So here it was. Okay. In 1977, we have that conversation between Obi-Wan Kenobi and Luke Skywalker talking about the Clone Wars. Mm-hmm. I don't remember. Maybe it's because I was young, but we weren't cloning sheep back then, so it wasn't all the talk of the town. And here it was. We waited for, how long did they say it was? 16 years between the two?
Right.
To learn about the Clone Wars, and this entire trilogy skips right over them. Episode 2 says Clone Wars has begun, and then episode 3 starts, and they're wrapping up. So we didn't even get in there until you watch the series, but a lot goes on in there. It was funny.
So, Brian, let me ask you a question. What did you think of the way they brought and developed Palpatine? And what are all the rest of his names?
Well, he's Sheev Palpatine.
Chief Palpatine.
Sheev.
Okay.
Palpatine. He's from Naboo. He's also, and forever always be, the Emperor. Mm-hmm. They've never mentioned Palpatine in the movies, but if you read the novelizations of even Star Wars, it talks about Emperor Palpatine and like how government took over. So politics and government have always been a part of Star Wars, people. Sorry.
So he's also called the Emperor.
The Emperor,
so that's
and Darth Sidious.
So 4 names.
Sheev Palpatine, the Emperor, Darth Sidious.
Okay. Well, I only know him as Palpatine.
Palpatine.
Then Sheev?
Sheev Palpatine. Sheev is his first name.
Okay,
Palpatine is his last name. The Emperor and Darth Sidious.
Sidious. Okay.
But in this, he,
So you'd understand how one could be confused if they weren't a super fan.
There's a lot in these movies. They pack, and Star Wars really does not explain a lot. Mm-hmm. Every line in Star Wars always has a lot packed in on it. I can only imagine how difficult it would be to write one, because it's like one or two, like one line, and it says everything. And George Lucas just cuts all these things out all the time. But you get the basic thing. He starts off as a senator, then she becomes chancellor, and now he's the emperor. All in,
Mm-hmm.
I think Palpatine is incredible. I think what Sir Ian McDiarmid did with him is amazing. He's really over the top in a lot of ways. And how hard would it be to top Darth Vader as being the worst villain? But he did it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, did you, in watching episode 1, would you have put it together that he was the Emperor? Did they make him look like he was shady?
No.
Okay.
I didn't feel, I didn't particularly care for him, but I don't, other than you telling me no at this moment.
There's I think the two most obvious things are, towards the end, and he takes little Anakin, he's like, we'll be watching your career closely. Mm-hmm. And then we talk about the Sith and being 2, the rule of 2, and the shot on always a master and an apprentice. Yoda says always a master and an apprentice, and Mace Windu, but who did we kill? And we go and pan to seeing the side profile of Sheev Palpatine. It's a good little foreshadowing that, whatever, staging. But, anything else? Pod race. What do you think of the pod race? That's like the most loved scene in probably episode 1.
Serious?
Yeah. People don't like episode 1.
I don't know.
They like it more now than they used to. But I would not say that episode 1 is super well liked.
I mean, was it just setting up the fact that he could fly well or something?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
a great pilot.
They were successful.
There you go.
Other than that, it seemed a little silly.
Boom. We are going to take a hot breaky break, and we will get back with episode 2, Attack of the Clone Wars. Welcome back, Thomas. How was your break?
My break was great.
What'd you do?
I studied my notes for the next... I studied my little golden book. It's a nice little refresher. I would recommend those that are forced to listen to the Superfan, they get these. How much could this be? Possibly $5? Oh, literally $5.
There you go.
Boom.
Buy it up.
If you have children, they
Support
probably
your local bookstore. So, it's been 10 years. Anakin got a little bit older.
Yes, he did. He grew up, and he's a new actor.
And he's a new actor, Hayden Christensen.
Yes.
What do you think?
Actually, I thought he was good. I like Hayden Christensen, so I thought he was good. He's, well, not good, I guess. He's got the Dark Force in him.
The dark side?
Yeah. Well, the Force is the dark side of the Force.
The dark side of the Force, yes.
Yes.
Yep. So it's been 10 years since The Phantom Menace, the separatist movement, has begun. They are the new villains of business and politics getting too intermingled and business not getting what it wants. So, fine, we're going to move. And we're soon about to start the Galactic Civil War. This movie does a lot of really doubling down on kind of the principles of the Jedi. And, the prequels do, I think, a really good job of really kind of spotlighting the flaws of the Jedi. What did you think of the Jedi growing up?
What did I thought the Jedi were, that's what you wanted to be. You wanted to be a Jedi.
And what do you think of them now?
I still think they're good.
Okay.
In no way, shape, or form do I think they're bad. However, I think that maybe, kind of like a lot of politics today, they might only see one side of things.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, like a lot of politics today, they're really, it's multifaceted.
Yeah.
It's not one way, not one group has the right way. There's a few good ways. I mean, clearly the dark side of the Force doesn't have a lot of good ways. So
was it the crawl of episode 3 where it says there's heroes on both sides, which I think is a very interesting comment to make. And, to go back to episode 1, there was a line in there where Qui-Gon tells Padme, we can help protect you, but we can't fight a war for you.
Mm-hmm.
And by the end of episode 2, the Jedi are generals, so they're in the war. They lost their way. But during episode 2, fear got a hold of them and losing onto everything that they had, even though we spend a lot of time in this movie in particular talking about possession, and the Jedi can't
What did they have,
possess
though?
anything.
What did they have?
They had power and influence.
But there was just so few of them.
The Jedi?
Uh-huh.
There was a lot more. That was just the Jedi Council. There was a lot of Jedi. There's probably thousands.
Oh, okay.
I wonder if I could pull up Wikipedia here. Let's see if it says how many Jedi lived.
Well, I mean, to me,
and there's probably
now,
people screaming at the thing. How do you not know that's blah?
Reflecting on it just seems like they thought they were good and that everybody needed to be good and there was only one way to think.
10,000 Jedi.
Okay.
Before Order 66.
Mm-hmm.
10,000. So there's a lot. But they did. They had power.
Mm-hmm.
And
why did they never go into the fact that they thought that Anakin was the chosen one? I don't feel I walked away from a movie thinking, like, why? Why did Qui-Gon think he was chosen? And why did that seem to always come up at least once during each of the prequels?
Qui-Gon was very tuned in to the Force. Okay. Less Jedi politics and less about the council. I mean, he was defiant. He's like, he said, I want to train him. He's the chosen one. They said no. He's like, well, I'm going to anyways. You know, Obi-Wan kind of picked up some of that because the Force told him that he was the chosen one. And then there was the whole comment of the midichlorians, and which a lot of people have. There's been a lot of discussion regarding midichlorians, and before the prequels came, the Force was just kind of this ambiguous thing that kind of, you know, held the galaxy together, and midichlorians kind of put in this scientific reason behind it, which I don't know why science and religion ever have to be separated. That's my own personal thing. But I think from a story point of view, they had to say to the audience that Anakin was really strong in the Force somehow. Without, they could have just said he's really strong in the Force. It probably would have worked. But they said he's got a lot of midichlorians. So, but that's why. And the fact that he had no father. He was created by the Force.
But we didn't really start to even hear much about that until the end of Revenge of the Sith.
No.
We did?
Shmi, Skywalker.
Shmi?
Anakin's mom said, he said,
who's Shmi?
No, it's Shmi.
Oh.
Like Schmear. Schmear Skywalker.
Well, speaking of Schmear, I wanted to actually segue in what you thought about the scene and the dream for the Jedi who's not supposed to have dreams.
Okay.
And he leaves and goes to Shmi just in time.
So, well, anyway, real quick, though, to answer the... Shmi says in episode 1, when Qui-Gon says, who is the father? Because he's like, he has special powers, doesn't he? And she said, yes. And he said, who's the father? There was no father. I carried him, I had him, and I loved him.
Maybe she didn't want to say.
You know, it's so funny. Episode 1, I remember back then, the hoopla over Jar Jar Binks and Ebonics were still the talk then. We don't really hear that anymore. And there was a lot of things said about Jar Jar then. And I remember watching it the very first time before all that came out, and I was like, oh my God, did George Lucas just make Darth Vader with the baby Jesus? And the baby Jesus becomes evil? That never didn't seem to take over the media. I think that says a lot.
Well, do you think that will be wrapped up at the end?
I hope so.
Okay, because he did at the end of Revenge of the Sith, he did mention something about if you go the dark side, you'd have more power than you could save Padma. You'd have Padme. You'll stick one day.
Shmi, Padma.
Hey, basically, well, if they didn't have 50,000 names, I mean, I might be able to remember it all. But yeah, do you think they'll wrap that up? That's something that's interesting to me. I'd like to know that part right there. Because you're right. So. It's obviously clearly a religious. To me, where'd you get the idea? Well, it's the same guy who wrote the Bible had the same idea. So.
It's just not nearly as good. Sorry, all you Bible fans. Throw in a couple of lightsabers, I probably would have been. Speaking of lightsabers and church, I remember once my poor friend, and I was in 4th grade. I went to Sunday school with him once, and they kicked me out and made me sit outside. Because,
they did?
Yes.
Why?
So how old are you in 4th grade? You're 9, 10 years old?
Jax.
Oh. Yeah.
There's his name.
Uh-oh.
Boom. It's out there.
Yeah. So we went to Sunday school, and I remember they played a clip from Return of the Jedi, and I'm sure they were trying to do the right thing, but to a 9-year-old brain, they were playing a clip of Return of the Jedi when the Emperor is shooting lightning at Luke and talking about what evil might look like. And I got so mad because I thought they were saying Star Wars was bad. So I remember, Star Wars is not a bad movie. If you didn't watch the movie, because blah, blah, and I went off and they told me, they said, I'm sorry, but you're going to need to spend the rest of Sunday school outside. And they skipped me out the door.
Just that I'm clear, you're a guest of a friend
yeah.
at a church Sunday morning class called Sunday School, which I remember growing up.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
know, I'm Catholic.
Yeah.
We had Sunday school. So you're a guest. And you decide to mouth off at the volunteer teacher, because that's all they are, is volunteers. They don't get paid. So she probably panicked, or he.
It was
and
a guy.
like, okay, so he probably panicked thinking, what? And he just asked
Yeah.
you to leave.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I like look back now. I just remember I never went back to church after
I'd
that.
like to say that I can't believe you did that, but I truly believe you did. I feel as if though I was there. I can see this happening.
And now that I'm older, I look
That's
back,
my
I'm like,
husband.
that poor mother, how embarrassed she had to have been. Like, here she is bringing someone to it. And she
Did you remain friends with these people, or you never saw them again either?
Well, honestly, she turned out to be a whack job. And
Yeah, all her fault. You're the one who.
no, like, quite honestly, her child had like only one kidney and was on dialysis, and she stopped taking her to the hospital because she was bored and tired of it. So my parents did, and sadly, I mean, he died when we were in our 20s.
Ooh.
But anyways, that's
Imagine if he was
my
able to
Chris. That's
hear
my
that
Chris
whole
story.
Sunday school.
What's that?
Imagine if he was only able to hear that whole Sunday school class.
Yeah. Poor kid. And that was interesting. Yeah. Anyways,
Lord have mercy on him.
yeah, he was by 6th grade. He was in a wheelchair, and I can only imagine how hard that.
Well,
was.
let's get back to Shmear.
Yeah, but back to bagels and schmears. So, episode 2, it's pretty quick that he starts having the nightmares about mom.
Mm-hmm.
And, Jedi don't have dreams because he's seeing the future. So he knows he has to go and save mom from dying. But he failed. And we then soon see how the Emperor uses that. I mean, the Emperor's already they established early on that the Emperor and Anakin had a good relationship. Because
Which I never really saw.
Obi-Wan, well, no, they said it again. It's these little quick
Once
things
or
like
twice.
Obi-Wan doesn't trust politicians and doesn't like politicians.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of cranky, crotchety guy who doesn't trust anybody. But Anakin had a good relationship with him.
Well, not only that, with Padma as well. Padme.
Well, they hadn't seen each other in 10 years until that day. Seeing you again.
When she was babysitting him.
I can't breathe. There, I don't know. This I Attack the Clones now has the lowest rating on Rotten Tomatoes, and people dislike this one the most. I really, really love this movie.
It sets up a lot, though. I don't know why.
There's a lot. George Lucas, originally back in the day, before Star Wars came out, grew up loving the Flash Gordon serials. So I guess back in front of movies, they would play little mini movies and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that he tried buying the rights to the Flash Gordon, and he wanted to remake Flash Gordon but couldn't afford it. So then he made Star Wars. And so Star Wars is chock full of all the pulpiness and everything. And I feel this movie is just straight up a pulp movie, right down at the title. So there's a lot, and there's like the mysteries and
What'd you call it? A pulp movie?
a pulp film.
Oh.
Pulp is a science fiction stories.
Oh.
Fast paced and action driven. From the 50s, I think.
Okay. All right.
But wow, what are we going? I love silence in a podcast. That's gonna work real
I'm
great.
flipping through my pages.
So what about the dream? What did you want me to
Well, I think
talk about there?
I think we worked that angle.
Okay.
I think we can move on. What do you think of Dooku?
Count
Dooku.
I think Count Dooku's great.
Mm-hmm.
I can see why if if Darth Maul didn't die,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he could have done what Count Dooku did.
Right.
He's a big, scary-looking devil. No one's going to really trust him. It was very smart of old Palpatine to get a political idealist, as Qi'ra Mundi calls him. He's a political idealist, not a terrorist.
Right. It was right around this time in the story. I was starting to get confused because the tall, thin character on the planet where Obi-Wan went to visit him, and he ran into Jango.
The Kaminoans.
Kaminoans, yes. So
Lama Su.
right, who these must not be the brightest bulbs on the tree, because they have for 10 years have been building droids, clones.
Yes.
Okay, and they were ordered by someone who was dead already.
Yes.
Okay. What? Now, who is that person?
Master Sifo Dyas.
Okay.
Who we don't meet until the Clone Wars, like in season 3 or 4, I think.
But we never meet him in any of the movies.
No.
Okay. So he ordered the clones, and he thought this master somebody again? No.
Prime Minister Lama Su.
Yeah, that guy. I'm not even attempting that. So he's been making for 10 years droids for the Republic. Clones for the Republic. And the Republic is supposed to be the good side. Separatists are the bad side.
Yes.
Okay. From a certain point of view.
Yes.
And I thought it was a strange comment
because the Separatists, I don't think they thought they were bad. They did some horrible things.
Right.
But I think they do a great job of Padme's in episode 1.
Mm-hmm.
The whole reason the Chancellor is even there is because politics, there's too much red tape and nothing can get finished.
Right.
And so all these people just trying to get things done, and government got too bloated.
So all these clones.
Yeah.
These people made for 10 years.
Yes.
With no instruction, but they were prepaid.
But we don't know that.
They had to grow them anyway because they were clones.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
But they had
they
had accelerated growth in there, except for Boba Fett, who was Jango Fett asked for one clone.
He wanted one clone that was
him. But I who knows if there was. He didn't know that Sifo Dyas had died. Remember?
Correct. But remember his comment to Obi-Wan was,
"I'm sorry to hear that," or something.
No, we've been hoping you'd come for years, or something to that effect. Okay.
Yeah. But they could have had communication via hologram and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think of the diner and Dexter Jettster? Because it was so. Oh gosh, I'm blanking on her name, and I love Zam Wessel, the bounty hunter that was trying to kill Padme. Had the saber dart shot at her.
Yep.
And killed her. Mm-hmm. And that saber dart was the Kamino saber dart that led to finding Kamino.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting because Dexter Jettster in that moment said that Obi-Wan, being a Jedi, should understand the difference between knowledge and wisdom. And this is, I think, a fantastic clue to the Jedi they were completely arrogant.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Jedi knew. So there's a saber dart, and then he goes to see Jocasta Nu in the library, in the Jedi archives, and the planet isn't there. She's like, if it's not in there, then it doesn't exist. That was the Jedi's response to everything. We don't know about it, therefore it doesn't matter. And here he was, just some diner owner. Why should he be? They don't know anything. He's not a Jedi. The Jedi became so arrogant, and that's why they started to fall.
But the interesting thing is they were only arrogant in 1, 2, and 3, the prequels. I didn't really see the arrogance in 4, 5, and 6. But we never saw any.
There was no more Jedi. All we had was Obi-Wan, who was a crusty, cranky old man.
Right, and then Luke.
And he was not. That's something that I love the sequels are doing.
Until you get to the end.
But think about how we reflect on times.
Mm-hmm.
We want to remember the best of things.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't know. And they're doing that again with the sequel trilogy, which I think is really awesome. The Legend of Luke Skywalker. And there's only stories about Luke. And then look who Luke turned out to be. And Luke, who spent his whole life, probably just like the kids at the end of the orphan kids in The Last Jedi,
mm-hmm.
dreaming of what the Jedi were, just like we did. And then he found out the Jedi were super arrogant. And the Jedi let all of this happen because they thought they knew better. Imagine how that would be.
To
all I wanted to do, not only were the Jedi wrong, my father's also Darth Vader, who, and I believe that, I'm sure they communicated. We saw them all at the end of Return of the Jedi. That's something the sequels haven't gone down, which I hope they do in 9.
Mm-hmm.
But Lord knows what kind of noise Anakin Skywalker was putting in Luke's ear about the Jedi, because he was redeemed at the end, Anakin lost faith in the Jedi because they stopped listening. And they tried to hold on to their power. But I find it interesting that the Jedi couldn't find the clones, but Dex did. I really like that part, and I like that character a lot for that reason. So, yeah, we find out that there's this army being created for the Republic by a Jedi, even though the Jedi aren't supposed to get involved.
Right.
And no one knew about it.
And the Republic's supposed to be good, so why would they be creating an army?
Well, they need an army because the Separatists are growing and the droids are taking over everywhere. And there was no army.
Mm-hmm.
Because, maybe they were pacifists. I don't know.
What about the marriage?
What about it? They got married at the end.
Boom.
She was about to be dead. She's like, oh.
I have one more
She
episode.
must have been like
get
you.
Married.
Oh, I guess I'm done. I can stand in this bathroom and be like, yeah, I'm good.
We're just going to let the listeners think about that one. We'll revisit it one day.
Time was just done, and I happened to be there. So
let's get married. 12 years later. Yeah, well, I just thought it was a little rushed, that marriage there, but there you go. Boom.
Yeah, maybe a little rushed. And with that, we will be right back. That was Attack of the Clones. Let's get It's Revenge of the Sith. Book 3. We're not in Avatar anymore. So I did just get a car on our little break.
Fantastic.
From Captain. I get to keep it.
Oh, that's very nice.
Yeah. It looks like the Mach 1, Mach 5. What Speed Racer's car?
Mm-hmm.
Mach 5?
Yep.
Kind of looks like that. Anyways, welcome back.
Thank you.
Did you enjoy your break? Attack of the Clones is done. The Clone Wars has begun. And now it's Revenge of the Sith. War! Exclamation point. Just about over. But this is an amazing opening with the spaceship battle in the atmosphere of Coruscant.
Mm-hmm.
And Tom mentioned, because I mentioned somewhere, that no one can do a space battle like George Lucas.
Absolutely. And everybody knows it's between the Separatist Army and the Galactic Republic.
Yes. Led by Generals Kenobi and Skywalker.
Mm-hmm.
2 Jedi who can't fight wars for you. Rewind 12 years ago.
And a little help from R2-D2.
Just a little help from my friends. Yes, what did you think?
I thought it was great.
And here you are. We're introduced to another character that we've never heard of.
Oh, yeah, here we go. General Grievous.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
The coughing robot.
We need another character, kids.
We needed a face
Mm-hmm.
to the droid army. And he was it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. What did you think of General Grievous?
Well, I was concerned about his cough, but it seemed to take care of itself.
Oh, I need to look that up. I feel as though his cough was added like really late in the game.
Ah.
I'm typing it in now into the Google search. Because I'm not sure why it's there. There was a cartoon that like he squeezed, but whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Why? The cough made him a little less intimidating as far as I'm concerned. But, whatever.
Maybe the actor had a cough.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know. I think Grievous is pretty cool, though. This is it.
Mm-hmm.
We soon find out that Padme's pregnant.
Yes.
What'd you think of her being a mama? But they just got married.
I thought that was a little quick.
Shotgun wedding? Do they have shotgun weddings in a galaxy far, far away?
I don't think so.
No?
George didn't get to that.
No. Okay. All right. He didn't get to that.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean?
Well, he didn't flesh out the story. He didn't explain if it was shotgun wedding. They were already married.
They were.
So.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So how long, I guess the question is, how long between the movies were they? Was it, how long between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith? Do you know?
I'm going to look right now.
We, the reader, how long are we supposed to believe it to be?
Yeah, how long do you think it is? I'm thinking like a year or two.
Okay. Well, then that wasn't a shotgun wedding.
They hadn't seen each other in close to a year, I think, at that point. She said something.
Is she sure it was his?
I would hope so. After she gets around.
But she hadn't seen him in a year.
3 years.
Okay.
Passed.
Yeah, it wasn't shotgun.
No.
So they've been married for quite a while.
Couple years.
Mm-hmm.
Couple years. This, I think, might be my personal favorite of the prequels. A lot happened.
Yes.
Do you think the previous two movies did a good job of setting up Anakin's fall? That's really this whole movie's
Yes, I do.
built on him falling and becoming Darth
Mm-hmm.
Vader. They did.
I do.
How so?
How so? Well, I mean, it kept bringing us back to, him having number one, dreams,
Okay.
foreseeing the future, whatever you want to call it.
Uh-huh.
He killed all the sand people, correct? They were called something else, right?
Not just the men, but the women.
The children too. So
and
it
the children too.
Exactly. So that set him up to be quite evil.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just talking the previous two, not this two. This one, right?
Yeah.
This
no,
one,
all
because
of
this one clearly he, goes to the dark side. He even
kills younglings.
yes, and he even uses the Force on Padme, who he loves.
Mm-hmm.
He, essentially, as the Chancellor, Sheev Palpatine, and Lord Sidious, Sith Lord Sidious.
Darth Sidious.
Darth Sidious.
Mm-hmm.
That one character, as he said at the end, you killed her in your fit of rage. And I think in a lot of ways he truly did. So
yeah,
he used the
you don't
Force
think
on
she
her
lost
to
a will to
strangle him.
live?
Well, it says in the book she did.
Yeah,
clearly.
I don't get it. Still doesn't sit well with me.
Quote: "She died from a broken heart," and I think that's possibly true.
Okay.
I mean, which is selfish to me because she just had two children, but I guess her heart was broken.
I mean,
She
literally.
just gave up.
Literally. Think about
Screw the kids.
our life
Mm-hmm.
and our children,
Mm-hmm.
and she just.
My heart's broken. I'm gonna go.
Good luck. Like, I don't know.
So you're saying
So-
she's selfish?
I like to think that. I like to think that somehow Anakin unwillingly, unknowingly, however you want to make it seem less evil, even though he's supposed to be evil, controlled her with the Force. And so when he left, because I do believe, and I know it's contradictory, and I felt like maybe even in the last episode I changed by the end of the episode. I do think Darth Vader's a different person. I think he killed Anakin to become Darth Vader. I think he had to be able to let go of the fear of holding on is what led him down the dark side.
Obi-Wan Kenobi killed him.
But he was Darth Vader by then already. He wasn't in the costume yet.
Lord
but he was,
Vader.
Yeah. Darth Vader.
Mm-hmm.
I think he somehow used the Force to control her, and so when he died, the Force connection between the two were dead, and so somehow the Force killed her. That's how I have to try to tell myself.
Okay.
Because I don't like that Padme just said, I know I had 2 babies, but I gave him a name at least. Like, I don't like that at all. So, but again, being the kinds of parents that we are, it is sometimes a very difficult thing to not hold animosity towards the parents of our children. Maybe there's something to that. He did adopt kids, and maybe there's I don't know. It doesn't sit well. It's one of the things I really personally
well,
don't
Brian,
like.
if they had done the movies in order, she may have been able to renew her contract and come back in Star Wars. But they didn't, so they started with 4. Yep. And, hey, we didn't write her in the story, so we got to kill her off. So there you go.
Yeah, but they could have just had her marry or go off with Jimmy Smits.
But he was already married. But him and his wife were looking for a girl. They wanted a baby girl. Talk about right place, right time.
I don't know. It's just, it doesn't, no. Nope. Sorry. I really love this movie, and I think it did a great job of that.
That's an interesting thought, because they just dropped. So he willingly took the child because it was an opportunist moment, but they just dropped the child to Owen Lars. Is that his name?
Well, they had to keep them separate.
No, I got that part, but I mean, it's not like they were looking for a kid. All of a sudden, they just brought him there.
Yeah.
And it was almost as if, though, and that would explain a little, I never really thought he had a very close relationship with those, Luke Skywalker had a close relationship with those people anyway. It never seemed like he was a worker on a moisture farm. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, in the Disney Plus, there's going to be an Obi-Wan series that takes place 10 years after Sith and 10 years before A New Hope.
Okay.
I think. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's 10 years. And
I'm going to.
But I hope it kind of explores some of that, because Obi-Wan couldn't keep him because Jedi aren't allowed to have things. So he was just there to keep an eye on him. But, I mean, I do find that...
And who made that law? Jedi are not allowed to have things.
The Jedi is somewhere along the way. That's one of the things that brought Anakin away. And I agree. That's not... Like, I mean, honestly, I find it weird certain religious people can't do certain sorts of things. And
like priests.
Yeah. Then
It seems like an unnecessary thing.
It does seem unnecessary.
In both scenarios.
I'm not in that world. You're more in that world than I am. But it seems unnecessary punishment. For what? And I understand the thing about, I kind of like Anakin's reasoning, compassion. And I think love is the ultimate form of compassion, or something like that. He talks about on the choo-choo train on the way to Naboo. Yeah, so he kills her. I mean, that's how I read it. That's the way it is for me. And I think you had mentioned earlier, do you think he'll come back in 9? Because we are left uncertain who the chosen one is.
Right.
Is it Luke? George Lucas claims no, it's Darth Vader. Yoda, from the book A Certain Point of View, which is a bunch of short stories, Yoda thinks that it was Leia. Yoda thinks they should have been training Leia and not Luke. But it's Anakin. Anakin's the chosen one. Anakin is the one who destroyed everything except for one Jedi, which would be unbalanced, because then it was just Luke. But maybe they're going to go into that too, because the Emperor didn't die. So maybe that's why Luke lived. And maybe that's why the Emperor didn't die, because balance, you have to have both the light and the dark.
I have a question.
Yes.
So my question is, in this film, we were introduced to Chewbacca. But I always associated Chewbacca with Han Solo. And Han Solo is clearly not even around at this moment in time.
No, there was a draft where I think he was in the script somewhere.
Okay. But when do they become...
We saw that movie, huh? You just talked about how you liked that you learned where they came from. Han Solo movie.
Oh, that's right, because...
They were thrown into the pit together.
Oh,
And he's
Interesting.
200 years old. What is
So
his
really,
line?
the viewer would never know unless they saw Solo, which apparently is
Yeah.
the lowest grossing Star Wars
Yes.
film ever. Why would I know that? I live with a super fan.
And I quite like it. I really like that.
I thought it was
I
good
was not
too. And you're right, now
anticipating to
I
like
have
it
the
as
answer
much,
to the question.
but I really did like it.
Mm-hmm.
But you didn't, and we didn't need to know that answer. Here's the deal: we didn't need the Solo movie, but we got it,
Mm-hmm.
and what we got was great. I think. I really yeah, we do. We meet Han Solo or Chewbacca and Tarful,
Mm-hmm.
and they're buddies with Yoda because Yoda has a good relationship with the Wookiees on Kashyyyk.
Mm.
Order 66. What did you think about that?
Sad. I'm sad. I mean, that's when all the Jedi were destroyed at that point in time.
Yep.
So here it is. They think they're fighting together with this Republic, who's now their army.
And friends.
Right.
Fellow
The
soldiers.
clones, right? And they turn on them. Yeah.
Yep.
Who was the blue girl?
Oh, the Twi'lek?
Yeah. She never got much traction, huh?
God, no. I'm completely...
And yet she reminds me of Ahsoka Tano.
Yeah. Well,
One's
I
green.
mean, they're different aliens.
Oh.
Oh, God, I'm blanking. I'm sorry. And it's different aliens. She's a Twi'lek, the blue lady. She's from a comic book.
Okay.
Something with an A. I'm blanking. Isla's something or other.
Now, why did the Emperor get deformed?
Well...
I mean, I saw the electric coming from him.
so there's the idea that the Force lightning melted his face, but he said, I can't hold it either. I can't hold it, too weak. So maybe that's what he really looked like, and he was using the Force to make him look less scary and more human-like to gain sympathy and look.
Okay.
So I don't know. It's ambiguous. What do you think happened? Because that is the line. He said, I can't hold it anymore. Anakin, I can't hold it. I'm too weak. And as he's saying that, his face is like
melting
and changing. So I don't know.
Yeah, no, I
don't know. I don't know where I sit with that. But I like how he uses it to his favor at the end. And he's like, the Jedi left me scarred and deformed.
Mm-hmm.
And look what they did. I'm now the living reminder of how terrible they all were. So look what happens. I guess you guys shouldn't have any choices. Now I'll just make a galactic empire. And then Padme's got the greatest line of all. I love it. So that's how liberty dies and thunderous applause. It's a beautiful line.
Yeah, that's true.
And I don't know. Some of those lines sit politically, and it's interesting as people just want to give away more and more of their freedoms to the government and take care of me, take care of me, take care of me.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully that doesn't happen. But
what did you think about the fight scene between Obi-Wan and essentially
and Darth Vader? He's now Darth
Lord Vader.
It's very sad. I think it looks really cool. We all knew that was how Darth Vader got in the mask, us people, because we know that they had a fight on a lightsaber on a lava planet.
Right.
But I think it's incredibly sad.
Yeah.
They're brothers. He was like a father to him, and no one wanted it to go down that way. But Palpatine was all over this film, like really just laying it on Anakin and just like manipulated him through and through. And the Jedi were not telling him what the answers he wanted to hear, right or wrong, but Palpatine was there at every turn, giving him the answers he wanted to hear. And it led him down that road. And then Obi-Wan had to take him out. I can't imagine what that would be like. Did he do the right thing?
From a
He
certain
couldn't
point of view.
he couldn't bring himself to do the final thing. He left him there alive.
Yeah. If he had finished the job.
I mean, who knows? Who would have thought that you could catch on fire and sit in a lava pool and live still? But he walked away. He couldn't do the final job. And yeah, think about what could have been saved. But I think about that a lot with the Clone Wars. That the end, when Ahsoka Tano leaves the Jedi Order, it's amazing. And I think that's part of why I think I love that character so much. She's a lot like Anakin, and she was his Padawan, and she learned so much from him, but she was stronger than Anakin was, and she was able to see the faults in the Jedi after they falsely accused her of things, but she left the Order. And imagine what could have been different if Anakin found the strength to actually have left the Order and just went and lived his life with Padme and raised 2 kids. Like, it could have been something completely different. And that this movie's sad. It was the ending of a trilogy, and it's just really, really sad all the way through. But George Lucas can somehow spin it, and that last shot of this film is
the beginning of a new.
Pretty cool.
Very good.
I watched it last night, and I really hope episode 9 ends in a very similar shot. Wouldn't it be awesome if Rey's up there looking at the twin suns, and whoever, Luke and Anakin, are kind of standing behind her?
Well, I'd like the answer ghost to how Darth Vader came to be.
What do you mean?
Anakin Skywalker.
How he came to be?
How he was born. Who's the dad?
Okay. So you want to clear, because I think Palpatine is his father.
So
Palpatine
and you've
through the Force.
You've said many times you think that's the same thing with Rey.
I believe that. I believe that from a story point of view, that it would be the ultimate redemption for Anakin to use his teachings, which is the whole reason he went down the dark path, was to stop those he loved from dying. Padme. He killed her in his rage, that for him to complete what he wanted to do, to figure out a way to save Padme from dying by creating her again through the Force and her life force, would be his ultimate redemption for him. And I think, if it doesn't happen this way, it doesn't happen this way. But I think Rey is the reincarnation of Padme.
Interesting.
And I think that's why she had a connection to Darth Vader that even Kylo Ren couldn't have. And when they were doing their little mind reading, she's like, "You're afraid you'll never be as strong as Darth Vader." She has a connection. His lightsaber called to her. There was a connection there with Luke, I think, with Leia. And I think there's a reason, which we don't know why yet, but there's a reason why after Han Solo dies and Leia completely disses Chewbacca and doesn't give him any hugs, but holds on to Rey, and there's some connection there. It's a connection between a mother and a daughter that's unspoken, but it's there. I think it would be really cool. I think it would tie the first trilogy to the last trilogy of one immaculate conception going down the dark way, another immaculate conception going down the light way. So it's a really good bookend there. And I really think it would finish Anakin's story. And I really think all 9 of these films need to be Anakin's story. And that would make her Skywalker without making her a Skywalker, and without contradicting what Kylo said about her parents were nothing, because they could have just been a couple of druggies and drunks that all of a sudden she found herself pregnant. But it would give her a connection to the Force, and it would make her... There's a lot of frustration amongst a lot of people of how strong she is, and she's too strong. But that's what I think. I think it could be very cool. But again, if it doesn't happen that way, I'm not going to be mad.
Okay.
But
good to know.
Speculate responsibly, as one of my favorite podcasts says. But yeah, I don't know. What did you think of the prequels, all in all, now that you've seen them all again? How do they stack up to the originals?
I think... they're just so different. I mean, I don't even put them in the same category.
Why not?
But they're just different. Again, I just thought that was more like more outer space. I felt like a lot of this, although it did go back and forth, I felt like a lot of it was more based on the ground.
Okay.
So for me, that's my perception of
Okay.
the two different films. I think that the prequels did. I mean, they were necessary. They were necessary for the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
The end meaning 7, 8, and 9
You
that
got
we
it.
hadn't
Correct.
had yet.
Correct.
So what if those never came, and it was just 1 through 6?
Well, that's why nobody liked them,
Okay.
right? Overall,
don't know.
yeah.
I loved them.
Oh, you did.
The people that didn't like them are because they were so different. You know, I think some of the kids that grew up with the prequels are now in their 20s and 30s, and they love them. So there's been a revival in the prequels and a love
That's
for it.
possible. Yeah.
But because they weren't the original trilogy,
Mm-hmm.
which I think was genius on George Lucas's part.
Mm-hmm.
They look and feel like a very, very different time.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're just watching the movies, they're very different times. I think the sequel trilogy feels very different than everything else, which is smart because it's a different time.
Mm-hmm.
But more, less, the same, but different. Did you like them?
I did. Actually, I did. Very much so.
More, less, or just different?
A little less.
A little less.
Mm-hmm. And just different. A little less and different.
Yeah.
But I did like them. Yeah.
Well, I think
New respect for them. Especially knowing that everything's coming to the end. So it's nice to have seen everything.
I think these movies completely recontextualize the way you watch the original trilogy.
Agreed.
I think they made the original trilogy a lot bigger. These movies, everything based on Star Wars going forward, all comes from this. He built a gigantic world. It was very complex, which made it really hard to watch, and I think it makes them rewatchable a lot because you can really start to just like, okay, I want to just watch the whole now. Now I want to watch just Palpatine, and you can watch 3 movies and just push everything else out and just watch Palpatine and really pick up on all the subtleties. I just want to watch Padme. I just want to watch whatever, and you can really zero in because it's all there. But it's hard to see it all because it's a very big story.
Yep.
But that's it. We've watched the original 6, the George Lucas saga. 2/3 of the Skywalker saga.
Mm-hmm.
These last 2 conversations were very surface level as we were trying to go over 6 films in 2 hours. I'm sure in the future we'll take deeper dives into each one alone. Tom's eyes just got very big.
I'm exhausted.
But I think it'll be fun to watch them all again after the entire Skywalker saga is finished. Hopefully, again, we'll look at all these films differently.
Mm-hmm. What are we doing next week?
Next week, we are going to talk about how excited we are for The Mandalorian. Because it's like someday, soon, it starts. And then we will be going to our reactions of The Mandalorian. So we're going to talk about that trailer. We have the Rise of Skywalker trailer to talk about. I'm looking forward to discussing.
Are we doing any movies, though?
No.
No.
We're going to be discussing the future of Star Wars.
Oh.
What we think it's going to look like now that there's a new series on the rise.
Mm-hmm.
The end of these movies is done. The future is wide open. What do we think? What do we want? What do I want versus your general audience member?
Mm-hmm.
It'll be fun. So until next week, thank you very much. Don't forget to follow us on the Twitters and the Instagram at Pink Milk Haas, Haus. Why? Because we're fancy gays. Pink Milk Haas, Haus. And you can even email us at pinkmilkhaas@gmail.com. Until next week, bye.
Bye.